Hello, good evening, and welcome, guys. This is the pre-match. We are building up to the big game tonight as Rangers take on St Johnstone at Ibrox in a must-win SPFL game, guys. A chance to really close the gap on that horrible lot from across our city. Not their city, our city. Anyway, the team is out. The team is out, and there is a number of surprises in the team. Before we get to the team, just a few hellos. Rangers loyalists, hello, hello. We are the people. Rangers till I die, etc. Fantastic Rangers loyalists. Good to see you, James Brady. Hello from South East Kent, another exiled like me. Callum C. Mongers closed the gap. Callum couldn't agree more. Stephen says Rangers to win 4-0. Philippe Clement is doing a better job than Michael Bealdon. Stephen, you are 100,000,000% correct. Alan Morrison in the chat. Alan, hello. Big change in the team. There is prime time. We're going to get to those in a minute. Good evening, troops, from Malky McClellan. Ewan Minton, one of our top contributors, says hello, Owen, and the Bears Nation. Victor Roberts also says hello. David P. I'm so effing pumped for this. Let's get our trophies back. All of them. David couldn't agree more. Nicholas Moore, also the South Wales Law. Great to see Nicholas. We haven't seen enough of Nicholas recently. So, guys, here is tonight's team, and you will notice there are a number of changes. It is an example, I think, of rotation. You've heard of location. And I think that does have something to do with it because it's Ibrox. But I think tonight we see some rotation, and we see some surprises. I've got to say, my first reaction when I saw this team tonight was one of surprise. I honestly thought we wouldn't see a lot of changes tonight. I honestly thought we would see a consistency of selection tonight and perhaps a few changes on Sunday against a very poor Motherwell team. But it seems that is not the case. So let's run through the chat. Let's run through the chat. No, let's run through the team even, sorry. So Jack Butland in goal, absolutely no surprise there. James Tavernier right back, again, absolutely no surprise there. Captain in the team. Connor Goldson at right side central defence. Again, no surprise there. John Suter comes back into the team for Leon Balogun, who is on the bench. Is that, I think, a case of perhaps rotating Leon, resting Leon with Sunday in mind, but also the fact that Leon is not getting any younger. We'll talk a little bit about this in a moment after we've run through the team. Ridvan starts at left back. I don't know if any of you saw that comedy moment of Leon Balogun what was it called? Hopping over the top. What's it called? What is that called, guys? You know when they do that thing when they I can't remember what it's called. Like frog hopping, jelly. I don't know what is it called. Leapfrogging. That was it. When he leapfrogged Ridvan. Ridvan wasn't even bent down. There's a whole load of other memes on social media at the moment, including Seema lifting his leg and it going over Ridvan's head. That's the back four. So two changes in the back four. Out go Barisic and Balogun, and in comes Suter and Ridvan. Now, the two holding midfielders, John Lundstrom is the consistency there, which I think is fair enough, given how Lunny has played over the last few weeks. Alongside him, though, a massive surprise tonight. Kieran Dowell is back in the team. Now, what does this say? What does this say about the team? Because I'll tell you something, it looks interesting, doesn't it? Because everyone was saying that, oh, he's gone, Dowell's on his way out, Dowell's leaving, the manager doesn't fancy Dowell, etc., etc. But he's back in the team tonight. What does that tell you about Kieran Dowell and his future? Or is this putting him in the shop window, maybe? I'll leave that one for you to discuss in the live chat, and we'll come to you in a minute. Then behind the main striker, McCausland starts on the right. I must admit, I'm a little bit surprised to say McCausland. I would have thought, given what Philippe Clement has said about managing minutes, that he would have rested Wee Ross tonight. That would have been, I think, one of the ones that would have. It's a little bit of a surprise to me, that one is. Abdallah Seema, well, no surprise there. You cannot leave out your top scorer, your most clinical player. And another surprise, guys, Kemar Roof is your starting centre forward tonight, not Cyril Dessers. Dessers rotated to the bench as well. Now, let's have a quick look at the bench for tonight. I've enlarged it for those of you who are hard of hearing, like me. I mean, hard of sight. Yes, I can do tons of jokes about that one. So the subs are Robbie McCrory is our sub goalkeeper. Interesting news about him. He wants away in January, apparently. Cyril Dessers, Todd Cantwell, Robbie Matondo, Dujon Sterling. A bit of a surprise to see Dujon there. I don't think that Dujon really does need rotating, does he? He hasn't played an awful lot of football recently, but who knows? Like I said, you've got to trust the manager. Scott Wright is on the bench. Leon Balogun on the bench, Borna Barisic on the bench, and Leon King is on the bench. And as Son-Claire Braman says in the live chat, not a bad bench. There's a lot of impact to come off that bench with Todd Cantwell, Scotty Wright, Dujon Sterling, and Robbie Matondo, to name but a few, Cyril Dessers as well. There's impact on that bench, isn't there? Let's have a quick look at the live chat before we have a real good delve into that team. What we've got, we're smoking again. Come on, the famous Blue Nose John. Welcome, John. Good evening, Owen. Hopefully this team is good enough to get the 3 points. I mean, let's face it, John, it really should be. It is, at the risk of sounding arrogant, only St Johnstone. Stuart Henderson says, I was going down a pure dark space with my own head, and that's not like me. Being the nation is live. Thank you, Stuart. Good, good. Always here for you, buddy. Rangers loyalist Nicholas saying, hello, you. Still a strong team. Should still be enough to deal with St Johnstone. True, true. What else have we got? Joe 90 says, evening troops. Dowell deserves a chance too. Lammers has had loads. We'll talk about Lammers in a minute. David P says, Dowell's a good player. Only issue is injuries with him. William says, told you Roof, Lammers and Dowell would have started. I remember you saying about Roof and Lammers, certainly, William. My memory is absolutely awful. Ask some of my friends that. Ask my daughters. Don't know about Ridvan, especially when their players are so tall. Interesting from there from Malky. Hope McCrory goes, not quite good enough to be our number one, too good to waste his career on the bench, says David P. And Nicholas says, let's keep the momentum going tonight. And Stuart raises a very interesting point. This is what I want to talk on. Lammers starting, that's a nightmare. I've got to say, that is the one name that kind of jumps out at you off this team sheet, isn't it? You know, Sam Lammers. I mean, why? Just why? What does, you know what? I haven't got media access at this moment in time, and I would love to have media access to the club. And do you know, one of the questions I would love to ask Philippe Clement is, what is it about Sam Lammers? What do you see in Sam Lammers that everyone else doesn't see? You know, given the amount of criticism he gets and the way he actually plays on a match day, what is it you see in him? I'd love to sit down with Philippe Clement, actually talk to him and ask him what it is in Sam Lammers he is seeing, because I've got to admit, you know, yes, I know Todd needs a bit of a rest. Trying to get with that light behind me. Yeah, I know that Todd needs a bit of a rest, and I think, you know, the squad have played an awful lot. But Todd, again, why does Todd need a rest? He didn't play Thursday night because of family reasons. He did play Sunday, so surely he could be capable of playing tonight. I don't. That's one change I don't quite understand. It is an interesting one. Nicholas Moore says Lammers is one of the worst players we've ever had. Quite right, Nicholas. He is absolute toilet, isn't he? Joe 90 says that nobody else sees. Absolutely. George says, is this when Lammers steps up? God, I hope so, George. God, I hope so. Rosie, how you doing? Good to have you, Rosie. Liz was asking after you the other day. Dowell looked half decent in pre-season. Let's see how it goes. Stuart Henderson says, I felt a cringe watching Lammers lift the cup. Juve had more reason to lift this. Yeah, El Hadji Juve. What a star. What a star. Stuart says, Nicholas, now one of the worst I've ever seen at Ibrox. And the trying Scotsman trying to find something positive about Sam Lammers, says he has lovely hair. I wonder if he straightened it tonight. You know, I think he did straighten it, didn't he, against Dundee when he came on. But yeah, I mean, looking at that team, I understand Dess has been rested. Dess has played an awful lot of football. I understand Barisic been rested again. He's played an awful lot of football. He's just come back from injury. I understand Balogun been rested because, again, you know, he's 36 years old. He's not getting any younger. I don't think he can play 3 games a week. I think he can play 2 games a week, and I think we'll see him back in the team on Sunday, unless Suter has an absolute worldie tonight. So, yeah, I think we will see him back. But I don't understand the rotation of Cantwell and Sterling. Sterling was our best player on Sunday, in my opinion. And Cantwell's second half, I thought, was excellent. And I think, given the fact those guys haven't played as much football recently, you know, given the fact that, like I said, you know, Dujon Sterling had a cameo against Dundee, a cameo against Betis, and then played the full game against Aberdeen. And given the fact that Todd Cantwell obviously completely missed Thursday night's game, played Sunday, I'm a little surprised to see those two rotated, especially, you know, with Sam Lammers coming into the team. I know a little bit of it is that we do not have any other options. This is it, guys. You know, what you see is what you get. You know, Philippe Clement spoke in his presser the other day, didn't he? He talked a little bit about, you know, the fact that there was no players coming back. There was no new players out injured, but there was nobody coming back. You know, Jack wasn't coming back. Raskin wasn't coming back. Lawrence wasn't coming back. Danilo wasn't coming back. So, you know, there was nothing new coming into this squad. What we've got on paper now what you see tonight is probably without bringing in the likes of Adam Devine, Bailey Rice, who Philippe Clement doesn't think is ready for first team football, guys. That was on the video this morning. If you haven't checked out this morning's news video, go back and check it out, guys. Matchday news video where I talk about why Bailey Rice is not getting a game for Rangers at this moment in time. 105 people watching. Welcome, each and every one of you. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please smash that sub. Obviously, this is a daily Rangers news channel, and we don't hide behind a Patreon paywall. We have podcasts like last night's with the amazing, the legend that is Mr. Curry Muncher. And also, we've got live streams like this evening's live stream of the game against St Johnstone. Ewan Minton says, I didn't actually read David's point. David said, Lammers reminds me of a slightly more involved Franny Jeffers. He literally did nothing at Rangers. Very true, David. Franny Jeffers was someone who never, ever fulfilled his potential after starting his career so well at Everton. Ewan Minter says, maybe he's just putting Dowell, Lammers and Ridvan to put them in the shop window and try and move them on in January. Just a thought. A good thought, Ewan, especially as it was written in the media this morning. I was reading on the way home from work today that apparently Ridvan is one of the names that has been linked with a move away in January back to his native Turkey, apparently. Jan Žižka says, Dowell in the shop window tonight. Come on, Beale, get him down south. So, unfortunately, Jan Žižka, knowing what I know about Sunderland, from my mate who's a Sunderland fan, they don't buy players, anybody over the age of 24 for money. They will not pay a fee for anybody over 24. They only buy players under 24. They only buy kids. Their sporting director Christian Speakman only buys teenagers and 20 and 21 year olds, only buys young kids. He'd be the perfect sporting director for Celtic. He really would. That's Stuart, controversial. Lammers should be a dancer and not a football player, says Stuart. Do you know what, Stuart? I've seen my daughter. My oldest daughter is a dancer. She's very talented. I mean, I would say that my dad, but she's a brilliant dancer. And guy, he wouldn't have a clue where to stand. He wouldn't be in time. He'd get lost. He'd drift in and out of the dance. I just honestly don't think he could be a dancer either, Stuart, if I'm being honest with you. Lammers should pay for us winning cups in his career. Absolutely. He should pay for his medal. Good point, Stuart. Take it, Ryan Jack is still not fit. Never is, says Stuart. Stuart, he's apparently be back training during the winter break, is what Philippe Clement said this morning. Nicholas, thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, he'll be back during the winter break. Apparently, that is what was said. If you've just joined us, guys, just a quick recap on the team for tonight. Jack Butland in goal. James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, John Suter, Ridvan. I also think maybe the Ridvan thing is to give us a bit more attacking, forward thrusting impetus on the wide. I mean, I know Barisic did very well with that cross on Sunday for the Tav goal, but Ridvan is very good going forward. He is very quick. And I think, given the fact that they've got that low block, I think there is an element of perhaps wanting to have a number of opportunities to vary the points of attack. So having, the likes of Lammers and Dowell attacking and getting in and around the box, but then also have the options of McCausland and Seamer with Ridvan and Tav overlapping out wide to really vary the points of attack. That I think possibly could be it. Lundstrom, I'm not surprised to see John Lundstrom start. John Lundstrom is one of Philippe Clement's leaders, isn't he? He talked about that, him being a leader in the dressing room, him being a leader on the field. And as I was talking about with Curry last night, you don't necessarily need a captain's armband to be a leader. You just need to be that guy on the pitch that, supports your teammates, that gives the bollockings when they need to, puts your arm around certain players, keeps on willing the team forward, and also leads by example. And look, I've slaughtered Lunny at the start of this season, but Lunny has really led by example and done very, very well over the 2 months that Clement has been here. So not surprised to see that. Dowell, I'm interested to see how Dowell plays now, given the fact that he's been out for so long, given the fact that he's missed so much football. I really want to see how Clement uses him. I think perhaps this is another example of maybe thinking about it now, the reason he might not have gone with Lundstrom and Sterling tonight is we are at home. We saw in our previous home game how he wanted to go more attacking with having Lawrence alongside Lundstrom. I think he feels that we don't need two holders when we play at home because teams low block against us. When we go away from home, when we go to Celtic or we go away in Europe, Sterling and Lundstrom, certainly. Or if we go to Pittodrie or to Tynecastle, fine. But I think, at home against St Johnstone, I think he wants to go more attacking. Dowell is a lot more offensively minded than Sterling. So I think that could be an element of it there. Lammers is in behind Roof. God help us. McCausland out wide right. Seamer out wide left. Seamer obviously has been brilliant from the left and was outstanding in the cup final on Sunday, and Kemar Roof gets his opportunity to start. Obviously, Kemar is now fit and fit enough to start. So, yeah, very interesting team selection tonight. Scott Cunningham, welcome, Scott. Says, toughest time of the season. The team will need everything. There is no such thing as a small team at this stage. Let's hope the boys deliver. Scott, I think you're brilliant. That's a brilliant point. As much as you want to go in with the philosophy that, we are Rangers, we smash everybody. That's what we do because we are Rangers. You've got to balance that with the element of the fact that we are everyone's cup final. We are everyone's Champions League final. We are everyone's must beat, aren't we? Everyone raises their game for us because we are Rangers. And yeah, it will be tricky because of that element. Sharpie says, evening, everyone. Evening, Sharpie. Jan Zizka says, having Kemar Roof first goal tonight, 3-6, maybe double it with us, says Jan Zizka. Stuart says, played 10 minutes for Scotland after the winter break. I wouldn't be offering Jack a new contract, says Stuart. Yeah, we did discuss that last night. We did say that I think any new contract offer has to be subject of a promise by Jack that he will retire from international football. I think that would be it. And even then, you've got to question it. And I think given Philippe Clement's unhappiness with the amount of injuries and unhappiness with the number of players who get persistently injured, I do think that Jack could well be on his way out. Stuart says, I cleaned Ibrox Stadium kitchens, all 17, so I spent some of my wages in the old Rangers store on 3 tops. How can Lammers sleep at night? Lol. Exactly, Stuart. Exactly how we can sleep at night, given the fact we all spend a lot of money. I think I spent £225 on Rangers tops this year. I've just bought this as well. What do you think? Brand new this morning. Got it in the sale. Hope you like it. I like it. It's really warm. It's really nice, guys. Hope CP has put the right team out, or PC, I think you mean. We need 3 points. I have my reservation, says Malky. I think there's always that worry, isn't it, when there's any sort of rotation there, that it's going to work, that it's going to help, that it's going to be effective, I think, Malky. Joe says, this is a team of Neanderthals who hack the legs off people. I worry for Kemar. Joe, I don't just worry for Kemar. I worry for all our players, with the exception of John Lundstrom. I think he can handle himself in a fight. But yeah, I do worry for the players. We are playing a bunch of hammer throwers tonight. We are playing a bunch of... And let's face it, Craig Levein is their manager. You know Craig Levein football. It is defensive. It is negative. It is dour. That is the way Craig Levein lines his teams up, and that is how they will line up tonight. How and why does Lammers get picked? Sharpie. Every single person is questioning that decision. And as I said, I don't know whether you caught what I said earlier. I'd love to get press access. My plan is to get to 5K and then apply for press access. We're on 4,050 at the moment. And then I'd love to ask that question if Lammers is still at the club. Why? What is it that Lammers gives to this team? Why does he get chosen? What is it that he can add to this team? And I'd love to know what the manager's got to say. That is the one I would question regarding him. David says, Jack let us down. I wouldn't be giving him a new deal under any circumstances, to be honest. David, I think that is a belief of a lot of the players at the moment. A lot of the fans at the moment, as regards Jack, as regards also another player that could come under that banner is Tom Lawrence as well. He's universally disliked, says Joe 90. Correct, he is very much universally disliked. Charles Dalrymple, hey Charles, says Lammers has technique but absolutely drops one as soon as he's on the pitch. He is one of those players that just looks genuinely awful as soon as he gets on a field. I bet he's amazing in training. I don't know if any of you remember John Barnes, and I know he managed the Scum, but when he was at Liverpool, when he played for Liverpool, he was absolutely outstanding in club football. He was amazing in club football. Brilliant. The moment you put an England shirt on him, he just went all to pieces. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't pass a ball. Couldn't beat a man. Couldn't score a goal. Was genuinely awful. And I think to some degree, Sam Lammers, might be amazing in training. I don't watch training. I don't have that access. But I'm sure, that he's another Barnes type. As soon as you put a Rangers shirt on him, he just goes to pieces. He can't cope. And he just can't do what he can perhaps do on the training ground. Perhaps that's what he's seeing. Stuart says, Malky, as soon as I seen Lammers on the team sheet, I was worried. It's sad, isn't it, that it's kind of got to this stage with Lammers. Just tuned in knowing how much did this cost? £36. 36. It was half price. Should have been 72. Was 36. I used the discount code from 4 Lads as well, so I got 10% off. So it's about £33 all in. Really good value. Really warm as well, guys. Lammers should donate cash to Rangers, says Stuart. I agree. The new top, I've just said, the new top, that's this one, £36 Sharpie in the sale, half price at this moment. I know, Stuart, says Malky. So just before we finish, so I can go and prepare for the live stream tonight, guys, and we can all go and watch Rabble. Here we go. Here's the team just to recap for you. 117 people watching. Please smash that like. And also come and join in, obviously, by subscribing to the channel. Butland in goal. Tav, Goldson, Suter, Ridvan is your back four. Again, 2 changes there. Out go Balogun, which I think is justifiable given the fact he's 36. He does need to rest. And Barisic, who's played a lot of football, just come back from injury. So I understand that. Lundstrom and Dowell. Thinking about it now, I think the reason he's gone for Dowell is Dowell's a more attacking option than Sterling. Lunny's been brilliant this season. He can't leave Lunny out. So he's going for that more attacking option. The 3 behind Kemar Roof tonight, who comes in place of Cyril Dessers, is McCausland on the right, Seamer on the left, and unfortunately Sam Lammers starts. And the subs for this evening's game: McCrory, Dessers, Cantwell, Matondo, Sterling, Wright, Balogun, Barisic, and King. And there is definitely some poke from that bench with Dessers, Cantwell, Matondo, Wright, all as attacking options if we need them later in the game. The one thing I do want to see from Rangers today, though, is I do not want to see us giving away a stupid early goal. No stupid early goals. Dundee, Hearts, stupid early goals given away. Tonight, nothing like that, because that's exactly what they want and it will play into their hands. We need to go at them like we did Aberdeen in the second half, like we did Betis from the first whistle. That, I think, will be enough to beat this lot. Vary your points of attack, boys. Get after them, and let's close that gap on Celtic. May as well be down to 10 men, Malky. Stuart, I agree. I'm buying one tonight, says Sharpie. Nice one, Sharpie. Send me a picture, buddy. Thanks, Owen. Come on the Bears. Joe 90 says, Dowell will do better than Lammers. I'm betting Joe. My mum would do better than Lammers. Stuart says Lammers could pay Morelos 8k a week to play for Rangers and still have 2 left over. Still too much. George Cameron says, I hope he's not taking them too lightly. I don't think he is, George. As he said at the start of this period, before the Dundee game, was, he sat all the players down and told them they would all be involved at some stage, that this 12 games in 37 days is a very intense period, and a lot of Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, or Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, or Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. A lot of that coming up, and I think there is a need to use the squad. And our squad, yes, is very thin at the moment, but looking even at that team, we should have more than enough talent, more than enough quality to deal with St Johnstone. I definitely think that. Well, guys, on the way out, if you can do 2 things for me, that would be magical. Number 1 is smash the like. And number 2, I don't want you never, ever to forget, we are the people. See you shortly for the live stream.